Man, the show was on, man. You done took care of all the paperwork. We live.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another episode of Out of Bounds. Like Curtis, Johnson, I'm Rashad Milliagn. Malik Brown is here. Fellas, like Kurt said, we are live. We're live. How are you guys feeling? First time live. How's everybody feeling? Just first things first.
We live, baby. Baby.
Yeah, we got hot topics and I'm in a snowstorm. So, that's how real things are,
No, for sure. And the reason why we're here, you can see by the title, Brian Flores has decided to sue the NFL for lack of diversity. It's a lawsuit involving discrimination. So I just wanted to ask you guys off top, how did you feel? Where were you when you first heard the news yesterday that Brian Flores was suing the NFL?
I was sitting at my desk. I have a whole bunch of friends that always are in the know, and we keep up with sport type things. And, we have a tech chat line or whatever on text, old school. And everybody was happy, class action. It's finally time that someone stepped forward to actually do something about this matter that, that's in the back of all our minds. And now it's front and center again.
Malik? Yeah, I mean, Rashad, you told me, like, we were literally sitting across from each other when you told me. But just after you told me, I went and did my research, and I mean, everything that he said was like on point. And then after you see the text messages, the lawsuit and everything is like, this is even crazier. So man, I think this is a big step. Like first day of Black History Month, something like this come out, like this is big. So I was happy for him for doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Sure. Yeah. Happy. Here's an opportunity. It's 2022, and here we still kind of had these first. This. And what I don't want to happen, people, listening audience, Black people, we got to quit doing this start and stop stuff. We got to quit acting like everything is in a vacuum, like, oh, this is novel. No, this is systematic, it's pattern. And in actuality, this is our reality. I can have a lot of takeaways from Kaepernick, and I just hope that the momentum that Cap started, because little did he know, I believe, that when he took that knee that he was starting a revolution, and little did he know how much the narrative would be changed and how he would be portrayed in that. So we have to rally around the facts, present the facts, and I hope we do a little bit of that in this show, so our listening audience can be educated, while they can do their own fact check, they can do their own background check to see that, hey, we really have something here. Because it's so ironic that they speak to that Art Rooney rule, and Mike Tomlin still is it's still the longest reigning or tenured Black coach.
Ever.
And Art Rooney, for those who don't know, is the mastermind and the founder or whatever, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where Mike Tomlin's been there for eon and never ever had a losing season.
Right. And pretty much the Rooney Rule is kind of like the diversity inclusion type of thing of reaching your quota. When you're interviewing candidates for a position, you have to interview at least one Black or brown coach, minority coach.
To sum it up to the lady is what about a brother rule? Where the Black man at? Mm-hmm. Y'all can't find no Black people? Y'all can't find one?
Right, and there's only one Black head coach in the NFL as of today, at the time we're recording this, who is Mike Tomlin, after Brian Flores was fired by the Miami Dolphins after having back-to-back winning seasons for a very, very bad Miami Dolphins team. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, and bro, what's the worst of all of this is when folks try to use that old country math, when folks be trying to say, well, if black folks only represent 12% or 10% of the population, and 6% of those are women, and we ain't ready for women yet, then 1/30 is 3%. So we halfway there. It ain't right.
Make no sense.
I do want to know though from you guys, Kurt, you alluded to a little bit earlier, but what is it going to take what do black fans need to do? What's the next step? Because you saw Chris Bosh is boycotting the NFL, but we did this with Cap, right? A lot of people boycotted, a lot of people kind of halfway boycotted from the jump. What do black people need to do this time to really, I guess, send a message to the NFL and really put a dent in their pockets, if that's possible?
Well, the first thing is to make themselves aware of the actual issue. The second thing is to concern themselves with the issue. And then the third thing is to develop a strategic strategy how to attack the situation. Because the NFL, as we said on our other shows, is the granddaddy in all sports. We saw how black folks can affect and bring a voice with the Bubba Wallace incident in NASCAR. Is this as egregious and pointed and galvanizing as nuisance and all of that? Nah, but it is an issue that we need to address, and we have a lot. We can make a lot more noise than we can, as far as money. If black folks said, "Hey, we ain't gonna go to no games," yeah, but if black folks say, "No, we're gonna boycott your sponsors, the people that give you the money," if we're gonna say that, no, Pepsi, Coke, and the other people, that we're going to stop patronizing you guys, we're going to stand in front, we're going to picket you guys, then I think that would help the NFL get the message.
In my opinion, I think as far as what we need to do, we need to do anything we can if it takes boycotting. Some people have different ways of expressing different things. So if it's boycotting, okay, cool. But at the same time, I think it starts from within. And when I say from within, I say the NFL. So when all of this stuff came out yesterday, the NFL released a statement after, and I will read it right here. It says the NFL and our clubs are deeply committed to ensuring equitable employment practices and continue to make progress in providing equitable opportunities throughout our organizations. Diversity is core to everything we do, and there are a few issues which our clubs and our internal leadership teams spend more time. We will defend against these claims which are without merit. So they're already saying that we're not on this dude's side. That's what they're already saying. So if the NFL, if they're not on your side, then we have to go within the black community. We have to go to we have to go to Mike Tomlin. We have to go to the black assistant coaches, the black owners of the NFL. Like
there are no owners. There are no owners.
Well, right.
Terry Fontenot.
Yeah, so we got to go to the general manager. So we got to go to those people to make sure that they hear this and they're supporting the black brother. Like, it's that simple. Like, at this point, it just seems like the NFL just talking for everybody in the NFL, and it's definitely not like that. So like, it has to start within, and it has to start with fans and everything else.
Whoa, Malik. Dude, we've been doing this show for some time now. Now, a topic of discussion was prime time as a coach at Jackson State. And I asked you, what first generation, and I asked our audience, what first generation college bound family, what single mama, double parent, are going to send their 5-star athlete, which, their dreams, their beliefs, and all of that is weighing on, to Jackson State instead of USC or a Power 5 school. Okay. How much do you believe that someone in their contract year, someone that's on the practice squad, I mean, it's kind of like, bringing the union to Walmart. That sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. But who's gonna pay the toll? Who's gonna pay the cost? Because mind you, as I said in my opening statement, them people when that kneeled next to Cap, they caught a lot of Hades. And this is the same kind of stuff. You got people in power that don't want to relinquish that power. You got people in power that feel that they didn't do anything wrong and things are good. And the challenge is this: they're firing black coaches with winning records. So, and this is what I hate to say. Even I got Detroit on. I mean, Dan Campbell, first year. I mean, we know what his record is. There was a long time in this season that we were hoping for a victory. He's well situated. And this is his first head coaching job. Now, I'm not saying the dude is bad. I like the dude. But what I'm saying is, what's up with Eric Bieniemy? What I'm saying is, what's up with Brian Leftwich? What I'm saying is, what's up with Larry Foote? All of these defensive coordinators, and what's up with Raheem? Why? We recycling Josh McDaniels. We're recycling. I mean, we're even bringing Urban Meyer into the Jacksonville from Ohio State. It happens all the time, and it's got to stop. It's got this. It's travesty. When our people can do, black people, my people can do all the heavy lifting, everything they're told to do, get the Super Bowl ring, go to the Power 5 school, and somebody, all they have to do, Sean McVay, 36 years old, or whatever he was, what he is now, he was like, y'all look it up. But all he had to do was get a haircut.
And have a father. And have a father who's plugged in.
Right. So, I mean, granted, I look at what part black folks have to play in this. And Malik, you're spot on. We do have a responsibility because, this isn't no PPE check. Just give us something. That's why I said, we need to at least have a conversation and start strategizing. But, how much do I expect someone on the practice squad to do? And some, some old retiree to bring this forth. We really have to attack. The only way we can attack them is where the pocketbook is, and the pocketbook is the sponsor.
Where is JayZ? Is my question. Where's JayZ?
Where's JayZ? He all right. I mean, we ain't got to call nobody out.
Jay's the one that joined the NFL, took all the heat, and they said, well, to change things, you got to join the system from within. JayZ joined.
Did he say we're past kneeling?
Says we moved past kneeling. Where is JayZ now? Where is JayZ today? Where's his statement? I'm just pointing it out. I'm just pointing it out.
Right. I mean, you call that name out there, but I mean, I look at JayZ as the same way I look at Colin Powell. Who made them my appointed leader? What's that? I mean, and I'm just trying to say there's one extreme to the other and everybody in between. Let me pick my leader.
Yeah.
Let me pick who represents me. Who do you think should be? Who do you think should be the leader? Who do you think should be the leader?
Right now it's Brian Flores. He the one who put his neck out there. He the one who got some skin in the game.
Don't nobody else got it though.
Right. I mean, and my thing is too is where, where's our brother who was who was talked about so vehemently by Gruden, DeMaurice. What did DeMaurice Smith got to say? What's his statement? And for who all don't know, DeMaurice Smith is the union lawyer for the players. What he got to say?
I'm looking up right now what DeMaurice said.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I have another question for you guys. Do you think the NFL even believes that they are doing anything wrong by not hiring more black coaches? I know Malik already pointed out their statement of they were already kind of denying such a heinous accusation, but do you think the NFL believes that they're doing anything wrong?
Right. I mean, we done seen this before, okay?
Every year.
Well, I'm about to really hit y'all with some facts. The bottom line is, the anticipated racism, biases, and then Donald Sterling. If you want to do a temperature check, how rich people, treat this kind of stuff. You look at Donald Sterling. What they say then? Donald Sterling, when he had all those comments, even about Magic, and his own players in LA, which has, a strong population of black folks and Hispanics. He went on and said what he said and had to say, and he was like, he didn't want them at their games. So, if you want us, and some will say, that he speaks like, the past, and I don't relate to that, but wasn't nobody calling him out, and ain't nobody talking about it right now.
I think just when you think of that, like as far as if they think that they're doing as any justice not hiring black coaches or whatnot, I think you just always have to go back to the Rooney Rule, because it's like, why does there have to be a rule for you to interview a black coach, a black or brown coach? Like, that is where we have to start, because it's like at this point it kind of seems like these organizations are like, we not interviewing you because we want to. We interviewing you because we have to. Like, it's a rule for us to interview you.
New York
so
Giants.
It's like when you come in that space, it's like, I mean, if I'm a black coach coming in, I'm gonna be skeptical. I'm like, do you really like what I bring to the table, or are you doing this because this is a requirement? You have to do this. And I mean, and once I don't get hired or whatnot, I'm gonna think, well, yep, I guess this, it's the game. Charge it to the game. You feel me?
Yeah.
So,
well,
I mean,
family, this is the part I hate. When we go there, and you're opening up the door to go there, I get some kind of way when they even talk about comparing quarterbacks or players. They love to talk about certain players of white players' grit and intelligence, and they like to talk about the bras, athleticism. But the bottom line is this, okay? The reason why, plain and simple, cut and dry, they're not any more black coaches is the same reason with reverse that there's no white cornerbacks in the NFL. Because if you put a white cornerback out there, he is going to get exposed. Heck, the percentage of white wide receivers, other than Cooper Kupp, who stands out, is few. You can't run analytics. You can't do something that you can put pen and paper to with numbers to quantify and qualify who's going to be a good coach. The coaches either come from a coaching tree or they come from a coaching tree. And that coaching tree appears to only be good enough to get a black coach to a defensive or offensive coordinator position. It's not good enough to get them to run the show.
I mean, I mean, when you think about that, I think about how every time we get an athletic quarterback, we get reports saying that the quarterback then said that they trying to move him to wide receiver, which is
Well,
why.
yeah, that's that's what they do at the, ain't nobody trying to move Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, to no receiver. But Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes, they got drafted, for baseball, yeah, anything but quarterback. But I think then the listening audience can agree that we smashed that stereotype in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Should it be more backup quarterbacks that are black now? Probably. And let's face it, that's another path to the head coaching job and coaching positions, being that backup quarterback, i.e. Frank Reich, the do well coach at Indianapolis Colts. But if he was a black coach, he might have got fired by now.
I mean, it all comes down to just even beyond football and beyond sports, out of bounds. But it all comes down to just they look at black people as the athletic ones and white people as the smarter ones. So you get the smarter guy to do the smart jobs, like general manager, like analytics guy, like so and so guy, and you get the athletes to do all the skill positions, and that's right. Just
and Rashad and Malik and our listening audience, we're not crying sour grapes. This is a situation where we got email. Prove us wrong. I mean, I would love to be wrong on something like this because it affects so many people. And I want the NFL to prove me wrong. Now, here's the thing. When people lawyer up, to the NFL's credit, you lawyer up. And you put out a narrative that can be supported and defended. But check this out. In all my businesses, when there's beef, let's have a discussion. Because I don't want to have to pay no lawyers, and I don't need for my business and my dirty laundry to be aired in the public and at the thralls of the public opinion. Because just like I tell y'all to look up stuff, the public's gonna look up stuff. And ain't no telling what they're gonna find. Like when we had one of those shows and we said Charles F. West was the first quarterback to black quarterback, and he played in the Rose Bowl to be black. And he went to the same college as Roger Goodell. So Roger Goodell definitely should have some passion or empathy for the black quarterback since he went to his college. But it's a secret. But guess what? When you open up the window and hang out your dirty laundry and put that on with a clothespin on a clothesline, not only are people gonna see it, they don't come by and smell it.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. And to see the NFL try to get a head jump on it and say no, it's all lies, and people are saying you're probably going to find out things that NFL's going to put out dirt on floors or whatever to kind of flip the tables on them to make them look bad in the eye of public opinion. Yeah, go ahead, Kurt.
No, I mean, I think what he laid out spoke for itself. And the type of record that he has spoke for himself, and the type of adversity he faced in his tenure of coaching spoke for itself. Because here's the thing: a good coach can only coach the players that he's given. If I'm not mistaken, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Tannehill used to be a Titan.
Correct.
Okay. Keep it real, Kurt. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah. So is Jeff Fisher that much of a better coach than him? Because granted, y'all, here's the thing. No man is on the island and no man can do it all by himself. And for Flores to get the job, he was a stud at something somewhere else because that's the prerequisite. You know, I just made the point that you don't get no Sean McVay, no whiz kid, at 32. I mean, the closest thing we got is still our shining star, Mike Tomlin.
And the Vikings general manager, who's like in his 30s as well, in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. What sets the Vikings apart is Vikings I have no problem with. Because the Vikings not only took Dennis Green, but they drafted Randy Moss. And they dealt with him. And I would have cut Randy Moss 6 times for 7 what he did. And that's the challenge. When we're trying to make things better, I don't need nobody making it bad for me and mine, even when I like to. It's a whole bunch of stuff I'd like to say, but I can't say it because I don't want to damage the brand. So it was a couple things that Randy Moss did in and outside. Y'all look it up yourself. We don't tear down black folks around here. We got too much of that going on. But you can look it up for yourself that I don't agree with. I mean, oftentimes till I get to where I want to go, and I got to think that, the individual can't be larger than the group, which can't be larger than the organization. And what part do I have to play in? How do I push the ball forward? And I think Brian Flores, from what I've read and what I know about him, it was a type of venture. This wasn't no knee-jerk reaction. Because the bottom line is this. Once you do what you do, what he's doing, well, here's the issue. Where's Cap playing in the NFL right now? And there's a whole bunch of life in that arm, I believe. So basically, this is what's happening. If this, he better hope he gets some money like Cap. We better hope he gets some money like Cap, because moving this narrative forward, I don't see where he'll be coaching again.
No, he's done.
Everybody is connected.
And it's even the craziest part about all of this is what, Greeny said in his interview with them this morning on Get Up on ESPN. He was probably a leading candidate for Houston. He was probably one of the top candidates you think of maybe for the Saints over there in New Orleans. And in the middle of that, like, he's kind of the best candidate out there. He throws out this lawsuit. And he said, why now? Why this timing when, there are so many openings and it looks like you can get it? He said, because it was time. Because, he's just simply fed up with the system. And to do that as the top coaching candidate out there, of course, he didn't get the Giants job before he even interviewed for it. But, I think that says just a lot about his character.
Right. And as it goes out here with these athletes and all of that, there's a stark difference between, the GOAT, the greatest, Muhammad Ali, handling these issues, and some of these other players more recent. And you brought up JayZ. Well, you got JayZ, but Sidney Poitier, rest in heaven, and Harry Belafonte, those individuals, Jackie Robinson, those individuals stood for something, and they contributed with their time, money, and effort, and threat of actually losing something. And I hate to say this, but those pioneers, and this is Black History Month, they had a lot more at stake, and they didn't have as much money as these cats here. I'll call out a name. If LeBron has an opinion on what's going on in China, he better have an opinion on this.
Well, actually, he didn't. Like that was the thing that that everybody got on him for. Is that he didn't say anything about what was going on in China when they produced his shoes in China. But no, I get what you're
I
saying.
thought I heard
Like,
something. Yeah, I thought I heard something.
no.
I
Like,
could be wrong.
no. Everybody got on LeBron for not saying anything against communist China, or like I hate to say communist China, but yeah, he didn't comment on kind of the harsh working labor conditions in China when they produce his shoes. Like, and that's what everybody was getting on him for, because LeBron James is known as a social guy, social justice guy.
And family, that's why you listen to Out of Bounds. Because we agree to disagree agreeably. We're going to talk about the things that matter in sports. We're going to have fun, and we're going to love each other as we do this. And, I'm Curtis, Johnson, but I'm also the people's champ.
No, I hear you for sure. I hear you for sure. But just wrapping up, I guess like you guys kind of alluded to earlier, the Black community, Black fans of the game, of the NFL, kind of need to lock down. I think something different probably needs to be done. I think we can all agree with that. Something different needs to be done if Black people are going to do something, as opposed to what we did 5 years ago with Kaepernick in that situation. So I guess just if we lock in, is there a meeting, or we just like, we're all gonna boycott Pepsi, as you alluded to earlier, Kurt? What is that thing that Black people kind of just need to do together? Like, what brand, what thing?
At the top of my head, I don't know who the usual suspect is. I think the obvious, and we really need to, just like I said, what I said about LeBron, okay? We really need to do our research, because like here in Detroit, people were, Black folks was talking about how they dislike Matthew Stafford. And they didn't know that Matthew Stafford is one of the largest contributors to inner city youth in the city of Detroit that we have. And, I don't want the knee-jerk reaction coupled with ignorance to either cheapen what we're trying to do. And just as important, I don't want to hurt someone who's been helpful.
Right. No, for sure. And
so that's why I said,
right.
It needs to be very, we need to be very pragmatic, strategic, and aware as we go through this. Because I don't want it to be a situation like, I own businesses in Detroit, and they say, let's burn everything on Grand River. And they burn my building down too. And I love Black people. And I'm Black. I know I'm light skinned, but I'm Black.
Well, that was like the thing in summer 2020, right? When I guess you can say when the protesters were getting kind of testy and antsy, less patient and everything like that. And, the local businesses were coming out like, hey, we're a Black business. Please don't, touch our businesses. We don't have like the type of insurance that the Target might have. Don't kind of hurt our businesses.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, agree.
But yeah, Malik, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think at the end of the day, you just got to look at it like this. Like you said earlier, Rashad, Brian Flores went on these interviews, and like you said, he was probably the top candidate for these multiple jobs. But at the same time, fought for what he believed in, and he probably knew once that lawsuit hit, he wasn't going to get another job in the NFL. But the fact that he stood up for Black people, for being disrespected, discrimination, that's big. And I feel like that it has to be like that in most cases for people like in higher power as well. So something can change. Like if it's just one person standing up, oh yeah, we can get them out the paint easily. But if it's like a group, like a large amount of people, they're not gonna take down everybody. At some point, you gotta listen, you gotta hear it, you gotta understand. When we talk about somebody like LeBron James is so much of a higher stature. Like if he comes out and says something, they're not gonna do nothing to LeBron. I mean, the fans might say something, but we don't get like the NBA not gonna cut LeBron by like they're not gonna do nothing to him. Nobody gonna do nothing to LeBron. It takes like the people at the higher level to say something because they have a voice. Everybody has a voice, but at the same time, like these are people that we look up to and other things like that. Like they have a say. They're big in the world. So I think it has to come down to that. Like you have to be willing to stand on your word, believe things, like stand up for your other people in order for something to change. And I mean, I understand we may have been doing that now and ain't nothing changing, but we have to continue to fight, continue to fight. It can't just be like a one-stop shop type of thing where it's like, okay, we gonna do this now and then we gonna forget about it after everything just goes away. So that's what it's gonna have to come down to, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got to build on this momentum, and we got to understand what some of the truer problems are. Um, you know, the attitude of the owner and what they look like is similar. And we talked about this before. Nobody owns a sports team to get rich. They own sports teams because they are rich. And just like it's a yacht, it's NASA. Um, and the challenge with this is, and it's unfortunate, but you have moral, amoral, and immoral behavior. And that amoral behavior is the type of behavior that you're doing things that you don't even know is offensive because you're unaware. You know, I mean, what Donald Sterling was doing was immoral and evil, but not, oh, we forgot to, we legitimately forgot to interview a black coordinator, draft a black, all of this, there's a lot of that. And I don't know, because, that's something that God has reserved to himself. I don't know what's in these people's heart. I don't know that. But what I do know is what the results are. And the fact of the matter is this: if you, Papa John's went to big trouble and got in trouble, and he would want a little John. He wouldn't want a Shaquille O'Neal, but because of what happened to him, he had to go find a Shaquille O'Neal, and Shaquille O'Neal is benefiting from that. Now, does Shaquille have to? Who's he gonna act like? He's gonna be inclusive. Is he gonna act like Tom on the Boondocks? How's he gonna act? You know, and that's why we have to hold these people accountable, and they have to pay a toll. I mean, there's a reason why it took them 2 years to come up with the Washington Commanders for a football team. Right.
Well, the Washington football team is way better than the Washington football team, way better.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and I'll part with this, and I know I'm dominating. I'm old and dominating the conversation and all of that.
But you good, Kurt?
But the fact of the matter is this, man. If it wasn't Brian Flores, who shouldn't it be? Because Brian Flores, everybody and their mama, and including what we're talking about right now, is helped, prayed, and pushed him get up to the mountain. But what happens so often, so he knows how it is to get up to the mountain. Now he's learning how it is to descend from that mountain, and it ain't right either. So not only should we be saying that, and I alluded to it, that they should be interviewing, hiring more black coaches, but what's the standard to get fired as an NFL coach? How does Lovie Smith get fired? How does Jim Caldwell get fired? How?
How does Eric Bieniemy not have a head coaching job?
I don't get it. So if this lawsuits increase the narrative, the talk path, and the outrage for what has happened to this man, God bless him. And my prayer that more people had intestinal fortitude to come out and have the love and the empathy to support this dude, because how often our guys gonna have to take, and gals, gonna have to take L's for us, and we forget about them. We don't celebrate them. We don't support them. I mean, they come out with this, and we be like, yeah, whatever. I'm shooting dice right now.
I love you, Kurt.
That's all I got on it, man.
I love you, Kurt.
Yeah, love you. I tell y'all, love y'all, man. The publisher called. I was in a meeting.
I think it's time to end it, y'all. Out of bounds. We love it. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. Curtis, Johnson, Malik Brown, John Milliagn, y'all. All right now. what you want to say, Kurt?
No. Y'all doing right.
Well, we appreciate y'all for coming on to a special live edition of Out of Bounds. We hope
that's what kind of important it is. It's snowing outside.
It's snowing outside. And he pulled over.
We gotta bring the truth. It's just that important, family.
And
now what you gonna do?
Yeah, you know.
All right, you guys enjoy. Have a great week.